A girl from the slums of Katwe, Uganda, sat across a chessboard from the world's best players. She had no formal training hall, no expensive coach, no safety net. She had a board, a mind, and something the rankings couldn't measure. At 16, she became a chess champion on the world stage. The question worth sitting with is not how she won. It's what she refused to believe about herself. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna speaks to Arjuna on a battlefield. Arjuna looks at the opposing army and sees only what he stands to lose. He drops his bow, and Krishna says something that cuts through every excuse, every fear, every story we tell ourselves about why we cannot move forward. You have a right to perform your actions, but you are not entitled to the fruits of those actions. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, verse 47. This is not cold detachment. This is liberation. It means do the work that is yours to do fully, without letting the outcome own you. The fruit will come or it won't, but the action, that is always yours. Phiona Mutesi grew up in Katwe, one of Kampala's most crowded and difficult neighborhoods. Her family had almost nothing. There were days without food. School was not guaranteed. The future, by every external measure, looked narrow. Then she walked into a chess program run by a local missionary. She had never seen the game before. She learned the pieces. She learned the moves. And something in her recognized the board, not as a game, but as a space where her mind could be sovereign, where poverty had no move to make. She began defeating older players, then stronger ones, then players from countries with resources and training she had never touched. She represented Uganda internationally while still a teenager, earning the title of Woman Candidate Master. What strikes you, sitting with her story, is not the triumph. It's the consistency. She kept returning to the board, day after day, not because victory was guaranteed, but because the practice itself was hers. No one could take the thinking from her. No circumstance could confiscate the discipline she was building, quietly, one game at a time. The first lesson is this: your circumstances are the opening position, not the final move. In chess, some players begin with disadvantages. The response is not despair, it's deeper strategy. The Gita teaches the same. Krishna never tells Arjuna his situation is easy. He tells him to act with full presence anyway. Fiona's slum was her opening position. She played from there, brilliantly. The second lesson is about attachment to outcome. We often stop trying because we fear losing. We don't submit the application, don't start the project, don't pick up the book, because what if it doesn't work? But the ancient teaching asks, what if the doing itself is the point? Phiona didn't win every game. She lost. She studied the losses. She returned. The practice was the path, not just the preparation for it. The third lesson is quieter. It's about the stories we inherit. Poverty whispers, "You don't belong here." Circumstance says, "This is not for people like you." Every ancient wisdom tradition, the Gita, Buddhism, Stoicism, agrees on one thing. The mind that observes those whispers without obeying them is already free. Phiona sat across from the world and did not flinch. That stillness was trained. It was chosen. Here is the practice. Tonight or tomorrow morning, take one thing you have been postponing because the outcome feels uncertain. One thing you want to do, but haven't started because you're waiting for the right conditions, the right moment, the right level of readiness. Write it down. Then ask yourself, what is the smallest version of this action I can take today, regardless of what happens after? Not the whole game, just the next move. The Gita doesn't ask you to guarantee the harvest. It asks you to plant the seed with full attention. That's it. One move made with presence is worth more than 100 moves made in anxious calculation about the result. Do the thing. Let the fruit be what it will be. A girl from Katwe looked at a chessboard and saw not a game, but a door. She walked through it, one move at a time, carrying nothing but her attention and her refusal to be defined by what surrounded her. The ancient teachers knew this truth long before she was born, that the field you stand on does not determine the quality of your action, that the mind, when it is free, is the most powerful piece on any board. You have a move available to you right now. The question is whether you'll make it. Subscribe to LifeVeda for daily wisdom that transforms your life.